Hello everyone, welcome back to Just Invest Today. In today's video, we're talking about Alibaba's huge buyback for the first quarter. Alibaba at this point has no other option to 2 to 3x in the next couple years, and I'm going to tell you why. The price of Alibaba shares are just ridiculous. Joe is literally doing all the right things to get Alibaba's stock price to 2 to 3x. We're going to get into it because I truly believe that Alibaba has to 2 to 3x very soon in the next 2 to 3 years, because all their things they're doing to return value to the shareholders, they are truly looking out for the shareholders when it comes to Alibaba. So let's get into this video. Ever since they kicked out the incompetent CEO, Daniel, Joe has been doing a phenomenal job already, calling out his mistakes, Alibaba's mistakes in general, and just doing the right things with the capital allocation. First, they did a $4.8 billion buyback just in one quarter. Remember, overall, they said they're going to do a $25 billion buyback in the next 3 years, around $8.3 billion every year. They already used $4.8 billion just to buy back the shares this quarter. That's a 2.6% reduction for the quarter. Overall, for 2024, it reduced the share count by 5%. I think if Alibaba can stay at this price, they're going to reduce the share count by at least like 8 to 10%, maybe even more, depending on how the market prices Alibaba, especially if it still trades around $72 to like $75. Guys, that's going to easily double just the EPS without any growth. And we are talking about Alibaba, a growing company still. Like, this is not a company that's not growing revenues or not growing net income. Eventually, Alibaba is going to get back on track, because you got to remember, they are just coming off of the whole pandemic. It's only been really 1 year of a normal operating environment in China. That's with a bad economy going sour. So what do you think is going to happen when the economy turns? Because the economy eventually will turn. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And even if that doesn't happen right away, what Alibaba is doing for the shareholders is just amazing. They're getting rid of all the assets that they don't need just to generate more cash, pretty much to buy back more shares and make better investments into the company, their core competencies. They just sold Bilibili shares for around $300 million. They also sold their stake in Xpeng. So look what they're doing. They're just collecting money. And I think Joe is just seeing how undervalued the Baba shares is, and he's just going to keep buying back shares. Plus, when it comes to shareholder returns, Baba is actually giving us a dividend right now, around 1 to like 2%. We can even be even more comfortable waiting because they're buying back shares and they're giving us a dividend on top of that. So you just have to picture what is happening with Alibaba right now. The overall company right now is selling for $180 billion. That's not even taking in the cash position of $86 billion with around like $16 to $19 billion of long-term debt. So the $86 billion of cash minus the $19 billion of the long-term debt gets us to around $67 billion of net cash. If we minus that off the market cap of Alibaba, that's around $113 billion market cap. Guys, they are generating around 22 to like around $25 billion of free cash flow. That's after all the capex spending and everything like that. So what do you think is going to happen in 5 years? Alibaba is going to earn the whole market cap of $113 billion from just cash in 5 years. This is with an increasing revenue, earnings growth, and free cash flow growth. So if you're going to earn the whole business in 5 years of just cash, what do you think is going to happen with the stock price? That has nowhere to go but up, especially when they're doing buybacks. A 10% reduction of buybacks every single year, if it stays at this price, that's a 50% reduction of the shares outstanding in 5 years of owning Alibaba. If we look at this chart by Monch per buy, it tells you the power of buybacks. After a 50% reduction in shares, it's already a 2x. That's with no multiple expansion. And this is assuming basically the business is not growing, even though we know the business is growing. So what's going to happen when it reduces its shares by at least 50%, if the stock price doesn't change and it keeps buying back shares at an annually 10% reduction? Think about just the 2x to 3x to 4x potential of Alibaba in the next couple of years. I've never been more bullish about Alibaba, especially with the new chairman. What do you guys think about Alibaba's share buyback plan? I'm super excited for this. Guys, leave your like and comment down below. What do you think about everything that's happening with Alibaba? Peace.